Developing news this morning, another police shooting. This one happened in the foothills of Albuquerque.
Yes, and this one involved someone camping illegally. APD dispatched what they call open space officers to the scene. News 13's Samantha McDonald is live at Tramway and Copper with the latest. Sam, the investigation's been going on now for a while, since around 4 yesterday afternoon. What can you tell us?
That's right, Elizabeth. That investigation is still going on. As you can see behind me, officers are still out here investigating the scene. This is where a man was shot by Albuquerque police late last night, and that man is now in the hospital this morning. It all began at about 4 p.m. yesterday afternoon when officers responded to a call of a man camping illegally. 2 officers confronted the suspect, and then the suspect became irritated. He asked for state police, saying he had a liaison relationship with state police. So 2 state police officers then showed up, and the suspect continually threatened to kill the officers. So officers took action.
A decision was made to deploy less than lethal, which was done. We know that the less than lethal was fully deployed, and then a shot was fired.
We have also learned that the suspect did produce knives. Chief Eden says the suspect is at UNM Hospital in critical condition, and he says they have many people to interview about this incident, including the officers. Back to you.
Thank you, Samantha. Gordon Edens had the chief of police job now 19 days. He was called out in the middle of the night, his second day as chief, when a suspect shot an officer, wounding him slightly. Then again last night, when a suspect was shot by an officer.
A man who spent years helping out inside the classroom at a high school in Albuquerque now charged with having a sexual relationship with a student. Carlos Ventura Garcia made his first appearance in Metro Court yesterday. He is accused of rape and sexual contact of a minor. APS says he was an educational assistant at Valley High, but has been fired. Now, according to a criminal complaint we got a hold of, Mr. Ventura Garcia admitted to having sex with a 17-year-old girl he met at the start of the school year. Investigators started looking into this after the girl's family reported the 2 were dating. A former student we talked with says the case is quite surprising.
It's kind of disappointing. You know, we have a lot of pride here at Valley, and to hear something like that, it's kind of frowned upon.
APS administrators could not tell us Sunday whether the school has told parents about Ventura Garcia's arrest. The competency report on the 12-year-old middle school student from Roswell accused of shooting 2 classmates should be in the hands of the district attorney sometime this morning. That DA, Matt Chandler here, told us last week that Mason Campbell is still being held at a secure facility undergoing diagnostic tests. The findings of the report will remain confidential, but a hearing will be held sometime in the next couple of weeks to determine the next step in this case. The young Campbell is accused of shooting into the bleachers at Berendo Middle School at the gym in January, hitting Nathaniel Tavares and Kendall Sanyers. Both students survived, but suffered permanent injuries.
The police chief for the Albuquerque Public Schools District is not putting on his uniform this morning. The district is not saying why, but Bernalillo County Sheriff's Department confirms APS Police Chief Steve Tellez is the subject of a criminal investigation right now.
The investigation is centered around some missing ammunition.
News 13 has learned a case of ammunition disappeared from a storage room that only Tellez and 2 other people had keys to. The Sheriff's Department says its investigation should be done this week. Tellez was put on paid leave nearly 3 weeks ago. Another New Mexico police chief is out of a job, and his replacement takes over the reins today. The mayor of Los Lunas decided not to renew Roy Melnick's contract. He's been police chief in the village since 2006. The new mayor, Charles Griego, says he wants someone more in line with his own philosophy. He's named Nathan Gurule as that man. You might recognize Gurule as the Los Lunas PD spokesperson. He's been with the department for about 12 years. Gurule officially takes over as chief today.
Low graduation rates in Santa Fe public schools have prompted that district to hire outside help to improve the numbers. The goal is to get students who dropped out back in school. The New Mexican reports a private firm based out of Florida will help recruit dropouts for a program which will allow returning students to take classes online. The plan is to start this next semester. It is funded with state money. Well, you know, St. Patrick's Day celebrations have been going on all weekend long, and so have stepped up efforts to catch drunk drivers.
And you know, the efforts seem to be paying off. The number of DWI fatalities in New Mexico has decreased significantly over the last decade. Now, the number of alcohol-related crashes dropped from 214 a decade ago to 134 last year. Deadly drunk driving crashes actually increased for several years up until 2013, when the rate dropped by 20 deaths from the previous year. Among the reasons why, increased police presence.
We have increased saturation patrols, yes, and you know, especially hitting up our problematic areas where we're seeing an increase in traffic-related crashes that are, you know, due to subjects being under the influence of alcohol or drugs.
Well, also, there are more anti-DWI billboards, radio and TV ads, and more ads on social media. By the way, the DOT also just launched a new set of End DWI ads designed to get the rate down even lower. If you're getting dressed, you may want to fish out some green this St. Patrick's Day, and Bernalillo County is doing its part to ensure that those who are partying out there get home safely. Once again, the county is offering free rides to and from restaurants and bars today. The Tavern Taxi program runs from 4 this afternoon until the bars close around 2 the next morning. The Tavern Taxi will pick you up from the bar and take you home for free. You can make reservations in advance or have your bartender call. For more information, head on to our website, krqe.com, and click on KRQE.